northwest corners, inside corners, because they're shaded from the south, from the sun, and the hottest temperatures are at the end of the day. They get shaded by those trees when the sun goes down west. Keeps more moisture in the soil, keeps the lick more active, because at the end of the day, licking dry dirt or licking moist dirt, they're just going to be more active on moist dirt. And every mineral that we put in there is aminated or chelated. It's designed to actually grab a hold of what's already in the soil as well, so that the deer get it all. Just like a plant absorbs things, a deer can do it.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because as Tyler was saying earlier, the northwest corner, this is actually where hay blower come out of, was right here in the corner of this field too. So we'll put it right here and try it and see what it does. So typically what I do when I go to a new mineral site is, I don't have my rake with me, but what I do is I take and rake this down to bare dirt and just get as much of that debris and leaf litter off of it.
And you can see you don't have to get very far down in the soil before it's starting to show some moisture. Whereas if you did that on that southern side, you'd dig down probably 3-4 times as far. So you really have to dig a hole in other places.
And then basically once we get it pretty clean, I just sprinkle it around in a circle on the bare dirt. It's going to be interesting to see how Blake's theory works in Georgia on the northwest corner.
Yeah, it's adding to it. Now all mineral, doesn't matter what mineral you're using, they're attracted to the salt. And all we're doing is adding other things that we want the deer to ingest with the salt, because sodium's the only element that they will self-regulate. They'll actually search it out to eat it. And it's because it raises their blood pressure and helps with their digestion, so they really need it. In some areas where I live, the sugar maple, young sugar maple, is super high in sodium. So like, we can't use mineral licks at my state, but they typically don't work real well because they're getting enough out of their natural diet.
Right.
Okay. But in most areas of the country, that's not the case. Sodium, they'll always search it out. So what we're doing is we're taking that sodium, adding all the other things that they need. And it's kind of like having fortified cereal. You know, you're just adding extra minerals because your kids won't eat, you know, plain oatmeal, but they'll eat some kind of cereal. Right. And that's how all minerals work. And it's why salt products work so well. Slick salt's the only disadvantage you have. Yeah, they're getting sodium. Yeah, there's some benefit there, but you're not adding anything else that they need. We've taken the time to organize the right ratios and the right inclusions so that anything a deer needs is in this mineral. So that's how it works. And mineral licks are a key component to, you know, they're kind of the frosting on a cake.
So what I'll do tomorrow when I get down here, Blake, I've got some extra Spartan cameras up there in the barn, and I'll put one on the protein block and I'll put one on the mineral lick, and then as they get on them, I can start sending you some pictures and we can monitor and see how quick.
Send me some pictures too.
Yep.
Be glad to.
Thank you.
Be glad to.
The other thing you can do is if you brought up a couple 5-gallon buckets of water and just wet that right down,
the ground.
Or chew it up with a shovel and wet it down.
Like I said, typically I didn't know we was getting to that point today, but usually what I do, like I said, I'll take a machete or a hatchet and break that ground up and incorporate it all in there, but I have not done the water on it. You know, the old way that my stepdad and the way we've always done it is try to find an old stump hole to put them around too. You know, put it around an old stump. And but
stumps are great. The deer don't eat wood like wood, but the chemical reaction that happens when you put salt on wood, it breaks it down. It's basically the same as digestion, but it releases the nutrients that are left in that wood, and they'll actually chew on the wood until it rots right down into the ground. So bark is another one. They'll peel the bark right off things.